Welcome back, everyone. How did your second session of Compassion Camp go? Last time, we learned how compassion begins with seeing and welcoming. This week, we learned compassion helps us be brave. Being brave sometimes means we don't know what will happen when we show up. The friend who was paralyzed didn't know his friends would help him. He didn't know if he would get to see Jesus. The friends didn't know what would happen when they got to the house to see Jesus. Maybe they wouldn't get into the house. Maybe the religious leaders, or even Jesus, would see them and turn them away. Maybe the friend who was paralyzed wouldn't receive the healing miracle. How were the friends brave? How was the friend who was paralyzed brave? Who else do you think was brave in the story? Compassion helped each of them be brave. The friend who was paralyzed had courage that helped him trust his friends and ask Jesus for help. The friend's courage made them determined to do all they could to help him. Jesus' courage showed the friend who was paralyzed he was loved and accepted. We can be brave because we are filled with God's love, and God always promises to be with us. Let's sing our song Brave Enough together with Helen and Hannah.
Ready.
When we see people are sad, happy, lonely, scared, or hurt, we can feel it with them. That's our empathy. That's the first step. To act on our empathy, we follow Jesus' example of compassion. Sometimes it is helping someone do something hard. Sometimes it is being honest about who we are and what we need. Sometimes it is showing love and acceptance for the person in front of us. These things can be hard. It's okay. We can trust God to give us the courage to be brave with our compassion. Let's close in the same way we opened today. Place one hand on your head and one hand on your heart. We are doing this because compassion happens in our brains, but we often feel it in our hearts. Repeat after me. Dear Jesus,
Dear Jesus,
your compassion always looked like courage.
your compassion always looked like courage.
Strengthen our hearts with your bravery.
Strengthen our hearts with your bravery.
As we risk, reach out, and lift up.
As we reach, lift out, and reach up.
our siblings near and far.
our siblings near and far.
Help us keep our eyes on you.
Help us keep our eyes on you.
Amen.
Amen. Guys, can
Thank you for joining us today. At the end of the Session 2 Family Pack is the prayer coloring page, which you can color and use to reflect on the prayer we said together. And finally, you have your daily examine card, which offers an opportunity to talk together about the day's experiences and lessons. Have this examine card with you at the table for a meal or at bedtime. Begin by saying the opening line in prayer. Then use the questions as a guide to reflect on the day. Taking time to remember what you felt and learned during the day helps deepen our compassion. And that's it for Session 2. Next week, we invite you to try Faith 5, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with Compassion Camps Session 3. Bye.